So let's talk about then a bit more of your growth. Let's say early 90s. When does your first child come into the picture? Yes.
Yeah. 1990.
1990. So
December.
That's when 15. You become a father. Hey, that's in a few days.
In a few days, yeah. She's coming home this weekend.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
How does that change your life?
It changes it a lot because, like I was saying, you feel it every time you leave. I love fatherhood. And when she was born, we kind of, I guess because of my aviation work, I'll be up at 2, 3, 4 a.m. So the way we run it, during the early evening, the mother would handle it. Then at 2, 3, 4 a.m., it would be me for feeding and changing, and I loved it.
Yeah.
But then again, probably not fair on mothers, because another 2 or 3 days you fly out, you go get a good night's sleep, and you know they are not getting a good night's sleep. But when you come back, then you help where you can.
Okay.
Yeah, it did change it, because now you start, there are other people to think about, not just you and your wife. There's another human being to consider in whatever decisions you're going, like, how will I be on this 15th of December? It's her birthday. You know, it changed some dynamics.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was great.
And again, I remember very vividly. I mean, I have this. I remember a young boy, my dad taking me to Mombasa Road, and we saw tires of an accident that had happened with a KQ flight. So, can you remember the first time there was a tragic accident? And now, just walk us through that, because I mean, I'm sure that must rumble.
Very well.
Yeah.
Very, very well. Because the first one was in Abidjan. We lost an Airbus, and I was in London, just on a normal flight. And I remember, I don't know who called and said, put on the TV at 2 a.m. So I put on the TV, and of course, like, you know, with air crashes, even today, if something happens, CNN the whole day will be beaming, interviewing. So that was running, and it was very, very frightening, because I was flying the same aircraft, an Airbus. We were in London with an Airbus. In fact, and I was a co-pilot then. And I remember calling the captain. I said, "Are we going to fly?" Because normally what happens is an accident. Most of the time, they need to know what happened before they allow people to continue. But they said, yeah, we'll continue. So following day, we...
And this somebody you knew?
Very well.
Or people you had even flown with?
I knew all the crew. The captain of that Airbus was in the Air Force with me.
Oh.
The co-pilot, we joined together. We were same entry mate. He was ex-police air wing. And the captain was Air Force, but he was Isli. I was in Anyuki. I knew him very, very well. So I think that was the first shocker.
And this is what year?
Can I remember?
Okay, and just...
then, of course, years later, we had the Douala one,
yes,
which you probably would know.
Yeah.
Which Gina handled as a PR for KQ.
Yeah. I hear she actually, when she mentioned it, they thought it was you.
That's what the initial... In fact, Titus Naikuni called her and said, "Where is Captain?" And she told him, "He's in Dakar." So he says, "Okay, I'll call you back." Gina thought it was really weird, called in the middle of the night to ask who I am. But they were trying to eliminate, because he called her at whatever time it was, midnight, 2 a.m.
But so Titus and I, we were working together on KQ, and he calls me. It's 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm thinking, I look and I'm like, oh, that's odd, Titus calling me. But we would talk a lot and regularly, so I'm like, but this is a strange hour. So I'm like, "Hi, Titus," and the first question he goes, "Hi, Gina," and I could tell there was like a heaviness in his voice, and he said, "Where's Captain?" And I'm like, okay, he's in West Africa, and I didn't even know where. But I said, he went to West Africa. And he's like, okay, bye. And he put the phone down. And I'm like, okay, that's weird. But of course, he was checking that Chris wasn't
on
this particular flight. So he called back and he's like, it's okay, just want you to know Captain's fine. And I'm like, okay. And he said, but we have a challenge. You know, this plane hasn't appeared on the radar for a couple of hours, and so we need you to come. So I quickly called my team, and we all assembled at my office. And then we went to KQ. And that was the start of a 14-day period where I didn't see my family. I mean, it was just it was horrible.
And I was in Dakar, and this thing was here in Cameroon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there was that, you see, everybody knows you're in West Africa.
Exactly.
That's a key thing. I've gone to West Africa, so there's some problem in West Africa. It's any one of us, because you don't know. And of course, we hop around. We do Abidjan, Dakar. We used to do Cameroon to Yaoundé, Cameroon.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of...
it's a proper Ma3 in the air.
It's a Ma3. It's a Ma3. Yeah, so that was the second one, which was quite frightening.
So
again, the same aircraft I was flying at the time.
Ooh.
It was a 737.
How do you how do you deal with that psychologically? I mean, we're having drinks, we're having a conversation with this guy. We bumped into each other in an airport or something. These are people you know.
Yeah, it was very hard.
What do you do? What is it that you did to just hopefully move on and still?
I really don't know. I guess you pray, you meditate, you rationalize. So some of this Abidjan up to now, we're actually not sure. We're not 100% sure. There are theories. Cameroon, it turned out to be a human error, which we all make. I guess you just try and think, he did this, then you go through in your mind what you would have done. And when situations similar come up, you kind of really try and, with the knowledge you have, because one of the learning points that we practice even in the simulator is such scenarios.
Yeah.
You know, there's a fire here, you cannot land. How do you go and ditch? How do you do this? But it's not easy because there are people you know very, very well. You've interacted with, you have flown with. Some you have trained.
Yeah.
At some point they were your student.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's hard.
I get it. I know I don't get it, but I hear it.
It's not easy. It's not easy. And then you're doing the same job. The following day you're up in the same air.
Yeah.
But then, if you look at it on a wider basis, if somebody rolls on the Rift Valley in a car and you're going to Nakuru for a meeting, you don't stop to go. You don't say, your best friend, if he, God forbid, he goes hard, hits a matatu, you don't say, I can't go on that road again.
I've never looked at it like that, but you've got a point.
Yeah, you cannot say now.
What I do, I mean, I used to get scared of flying, but then what I do is I would research on the statistics, and I think 1 in every 20,000 flights, or not even 20, more than that, had an accident. So when you look at the statistics, it's like 0.0001%.
They say you are 400 times more likely to die from here to your local duka than a 15-hour flight from here to Australia. 400 times. Google it. So just going to shop to buy milk and me flying to New York, you are 400 times riskier, bigger risk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, but
so that's the way to look at it.
But I'm sure you must have had something happen, and by something I mean even the wheel just took 3 minutes to refuse to come up, or something.
I've been very lucky.
In your 44 years?
I've been very lucky in Kenya Airways. But in the Air Force on the F5, I did have a wheel fall out. We took off. We had two of us, two aircrafts, and the number two, we call him number two. He said, leave your wheels down, leave your gear down, because it would have gone in and got stuck. He was very, very quick, because when we lifted, he saw my wheel fall out.
Such the importance of your number two.
Yes. So, of course, got on the radio. The engineer went to the tower. We were communicating. We discussed options. The book actually says you eject, because now there's a stick sticking there. When you think it'll be a blow up or a fire. Then we discussed, said, yeah, I think we can do this. So they called everybody back to land so that we don't block the runway. Everyone who was in the air, this is Nanyuki. Everybody landed, cleared the airfield, they got the fire trucks. So I flew until I was at bare minimum fuel to reduce any big fire. So I landed.
You landed?
Yeah, I landed. Managed to keep it on the runway, but as it slowed down, because you cannot, it went into, no, it didn't tip over, but now we ran into the grass. There was a bit of bush there and we stopped.
What?
I think that's my only major incident. The rest are small. You lose this, you lose that, but that's the only one that, was a major in my career. Airline, I've been very lucky, like I said. It's all worked out safely, thank God.
Okay. That's
airline, other than you can't get into Nairobi, there's a thunderstorm, you fly to Mombasa. It's not a big deal. That happens all the time. You can't land here, you divert. That is standard.
Yeah.
It's not an emergency.
I get it.
Yeah, we plan and we have fuel for that. Yeah.
Have you ever taken off into a thunderstorm?
Oh, many times. Many times.
And what gives you the calm and the cool to know, or it's just, or the plane can handle that, the way the machines are built?
Yes, the plane can handle.
Because us as the passengers, we are crapping. We are scared. Let me just be honest.
The plane can handle, but within limit. I mean, there have been cases where
turbulence gets,
turbulent head broke things. If you look online, you see shattered windshields, you see. So it can't get beyond the capability of an aircraft. But I've been through a few, especially towards Seychelles, we've had a few. Towards Zauzi in Mayonte, we've had a few. But it's been within limit. Now we have the weather radar, which
technology again
helps. But sometimes it does not show. It's showing like it's a mild one. Then you get in and you are shaken all over the place. Sometimes it's not 100%. It's getting better. It's getting better.
So like when the pilot comes on and the excuse me, but please fasten your safety belt. We're going to experience some turbulence in a few. We should panic, yeah? If he's seen Nikubaya.
You shouldn't panic.
No, I'm joking. But what I mean is that the equipment has already alerted him. It's much easier to
We
fly.
are aware. Even here, we even tell passengers, I'll say Nairobi London or Nairobi Amsterdam, after 2 hours, we'll be going through a bad patch of turbulence because we have it.
Yeah.
And 9 out of 10, it's accurate because the weather reporting systems now get satellite based. They're so good.
Aye.
And turbulence is just a change of temperature or change of wind. Like
wind
the wind
direction.
is blowing this way, it changes, so now it is moving the wings up and down. Change of temperature, then you get a big. It's like what they call an air
vacuum.
pocket. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's a thing that is less dense or more dense, and you hear. But that's all it is. That's all it is.
15,000 feet in the how many thousand feet we're in the air. That's not what it all is. But it's so.
And what you need to what we have done in the past. I know I did for a friend of mine. His wife was he's a senior lawyer in Kenya, no names, but his wife was very scared of flying, and we were in somewhere in West Africa. We put her in the cockpit. So when she saw we are drinking tea, coffee, we are talking, that was it. Cured. Because I think the mystery of what is happening behind the closed door and we're all shaking.
Yeah.
But once you see these guys are chatting, telling a joke, you also calm down.
Yeah. And you know the way you guys come on with that voice. Excuse me, hello, 9,000 feet.
And you can't hear.
7,300 kilometers an hour. I mean, I'm like,
people complain you can't hear.
It's so monotone.
People say you can't hear.
Yeah, but okay. I want to talk about a thing that I know has completely affected the aviation system. I mean, and actually before that, I want to ask. Okay, so now you're rising up the ranks. When do you get to the top position of being a co-pilot?
My top was 777. We had a Boeing 777.
That's now bigger.
It's bigger than the 787. We sold when the Kenya Airways ran into financial trouble. They were leased. Some were returned to the owners. We still have two, I think. One is leased by Turkish Airways. I'm not sure where the other two are. But I was co-pilot on the 777. In fact, we ferried one from Seattle to Nairobi. Did 18 hours. And I remember President Kibaki came for inauguration to meet it when we got here. And he had been given the speech. He says, we welcome the Boeing 777. Then he turned around. Sabagapi. He thought there was a misprint because he was just going 7. I need to look for the video. It was so funny. Yeah, so co-pilot 777, then you go down. I went to the Boeing 737, which is still here.
And that meant now you're back down to doing local,
region and regional.
Oh, in regional now, huh?
Yeah, because now this is a jet, not like the Fokker. This is the one that does Joburg. Others, West Africa runs 737. I'm sure you have used it.
Yeah.
If you go to Accra, if you go to Lagos, if you go to Dakar today, that's what we are going. Seychelles, and all those places. Mauritius. So.
At this time, did you ever feel the monotony of the job? That I'm just doing this every day because it's what you gotta do. You gotta do it.
I love the flying.
Okay.
The monotony is the hotel bed. That one, anyone will tell you, because you land somewhere, you get in a bus, like they pick you up from the aircraft, go to a hotel, you check in, you go to your room, take a shower. That one is monotonous. You sleep for a few hours, go down, have some dinner, come back, watch TV, go to the gym. That one is monotonous because, then you get to the airport, fly back, that's fine. Aircraft is fine. Then 2 days later, you do it again. Get in the bus, go to the hotel, you go, something wrong in your room, go down. You say, my room, a TV doesn't come on. Okay, we'll change your room. That bed is monotonous. Although people think, oh wow, glamour. Because we stay in nice hotels. Our union is quite strong about that. We stay in most of the hotels we stay are very nice.
And your per diems are also good.
Yeah, sometimes.
And our pilots must be listening. They're like, no, they're not good. The union is like, yes.
Yeah, so that bit, and of course, going, especially now after September 11.
The fact that's where I was going to get to.
The airport procedure, security is such a nuisance. Shoes, laptops, you can't carry your water. I mean, that one is a pain. Remove everything, remove your shoes, then you are frisked. That one is monotonous.
In fact, let's have a conversation about that because September, actually, first of all, let's have a conversation about you. Then your son is born. Because now your second born is now
1996.
1996. Again, must be life changing.
Major changes, because now there are two.